Hello everybody, welcome to Instantgo Tarot Odyssey. Very quickly before we start, you guys, I'm going to show you just a quick video reel of some of the amazing, they're like half off and above jewelry specials I have over on IG for my followers. It's a big thank you. My biggest client sources from over there, and you guys support and send me the greatest feedback on my design. So I want to have a great big cosmic hug and a massive sale for you. So if you go over, there will be videos and there will be pictures, and you guys can DM me for availability. Most of this stuff I can restyle and remake if it sells, and I just want you to see like what's on offer, because it's like candy, and I feel like now is a beautiful time to treat ourselves. Spring's right around the corner. We can get all lushed out in our beautiful stones. So enjoy the little clip of what is going to be on there. Hi you guys, I just wanted to pop on and let you know over on IG I'm going to be having a super sale for all my IG followers of lots of different jewelry. A lot of it's going to be over 50% of what it is or would be in the store. It's a little thank you winter kiss to you, because Valentine's Day is coming and we all deserve a little treat. I love mala styles. These are apatites, turquoise. This greenstone right here and right here, these are actual real emeralds, rough carved emeralds are way less expensive than faceted emeralds. So I'm able to get those from Colombia, and I sometimes get Burmese rubies. I just love these pieces. So you can say, hey Mel, I saw this particular thing, and you can send me a screenshot or describe it, and I'll have all the rates over on IG as well, with photographs for all of you. Thanks you guys for watching my videos and supporting as well. Okay, you guys, I want to show you some more pieces in the super IG sale. We're gonna have the beautiful emerald earrings, gorgeous emerald and rune necklace. My favorite piece that I think I've made because of the colors, apatite and agate collar. We got moonstone and abalone and amethyst with some turquoise, and then we have a river jasper. This is so beautiful, this soft blue piece, and smoky quartz with beautiful abalone. This is one of my fave pieces with the tiger eye and feathers and pearls and beautiful crystals. Very Middle Eastern. And we have some more rainbow aura quartz that you guys really liked. These phenomenal collars, again apatite with some pretty silver magic power. Just really gorgeous, very like statement pieces, and I love these. And thank you guys for all your support and your great feedback on everything too. This is my way to say thank you and give you a big ultra special. Hello everybody, welcome to Instantgo Tarot Odyssey. I hope you liked your little montage. I just have some of the greatest stones, and I end up putting things away, and then I'm like, wow, I forgot I even made this. And sometimes I repurpose it, but it's like some of these are just really beautiful, and I just wanted to let you get in on all the fun IG sales for that. So you guys, today our three choices are going to be Yule and rebirth, moon and cycles, candles and magic. And this is just kind of what is unfolding for you in the next 365. Like, what are you learning? How are you progressing? What's coming into your life? Anything that wants to come through can come through. And this specific deck is really wonderful because it has like a vast long-term perspective to it. A lot of cool information comes in with these, sometimes very specific and sometimes just like overarching energy as well. So we're going to start with Yule and rebirth, and right away I'm going to pull in a card for that too. We got foundation and we have alchemist. So right away I feel like this is your season. Your winter is kind of like, and depending wherever you are in the world, the time that you're at right now, it's like it is a time of discovery. You're really recognizing what your strengths are, who you are, where you don't want to waste time, energy, money, resources, any of those things, and you want to tap into your innate ability and powers to move that muscle, change that thought, and do what's good for you. It can be dietary, it can be mental. Saruchi, beautiful shout out to you. You actually changed sort of the trajectory of my day after I read that beautiful message from you. It was so heartfelt that it was like, I felt, you know, when you get that burn on the inside of your nose and your throat and you feel like you're going to cry. It was so sentimentally beautiful. I want to thank you for that. And that is kind of like a rebirth moment when somebody says something to us so utterly beautiful, breathtaking, or we see something like, for instance, the kids were out in the yard and they made these little ice sculptures and they hung them in the sun and they look like light catchers. The ice is catching the light, and it was so beautiful. I was like, wow, you know, that moment was like a tiny rebirth from any heavy energy, and you're going to reach out for those things that do that for you. That's what alchemy is, mixing up the right ingredients for success, for health, for well-being, to sustain you when you think, Oh, there's, I believe it is absolutely 100%. It starts in the mental where we can think, I have everything I need. Not only that, I have more than what I need. And then you just go into that junk drawer of life and you throw out all the garbage and the stuff that blocks the good stuff, right? You ever just collect so much tchotchke, or you mix your winter clothes with your summer clothes, you can't find anything? It's being convoluted, and that kind of breaks up the alchemy and doesn't help a smooth flow of it. But when we get rid of and declutter physical and mental items, we can see with clarity what matters, has meaning, and how to push forward. Creatives know this. If we start throwing all our paint brushes into a thing and they're not washed properly, the brushes get all hard. Same thing with beaters. We start mixing it all and then there's no alignment of color, and it adds to confusion and chaos. But this is like, let me only keep what matters and is going to alchemize me in the right direction, and be able to mix the right ingredients for good health, for awesome state of mind, for forging forward, for feeling good about what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. And foundation, that's where everything begins. We begin with a foundation, and if it's shaky, half-hearted, half-assed, like, I'm just going to throw this together. Like, when I used to start paintings, for some reason I thought I had to finish the painting in the same breath that I began it. It didn't matter 2 hours, 4 hours. And as I found, there was a slow decreased effort and focus on the painting because it was more an obligation than a joy. So that's not the foundation anymore. This is, I can start and stop whatever I want, whenever I want, and heed the call to creativity as opposed to obligation, right? Feeling good. That's the alchemy. I'm jazzed to do this, but I'm only going to do it for as long as it brings me satisfaction, and I'm doing it wholeheartedly. We know those half-hearted attempts, even if it's in a meal, stuff gets burnt because we're not really paying attention. This is paying attention to what we want and how we perceive an outcome. And if we don't have the gas in our tank to have it come out beautifully like we want, we take a pause and we refuel. And that's what you're going to be doing over the next year. It's just rebooting, regenerating, revitalizing, this rebirth of, this is who I can be, and I'm always this person. It's this untapped energy. I just have to redirect myself when anything gets a little bit convoluted or shaky, or we get derailed. We have to share energy and space with other people as well, at work, at home, and all kinds of things. In a store, right? You ever have somebody, it's not their fault that they're a toddler, it might be crying or whatever. Why don't we be of help and start to entertain the child, as opposed to adding aggravated energy? All we have to do is step back, have a healthy detachment, and leave a place better than we found it. Bring in loving, warm energy, patience energy, and that's what you're going to have going for you, and it's beautiful. So thank you, group one. That is you guys. So if you're new to my channel, thank you guys for all your love and support from the oldies and Patreons, and all your beautiful comments. Whenever I need a boost, I'm constantly reading them. You guys are amazing. Your growth, your everything that you're tapping into is wonderful. So again, you guys, if you want to go over to IG and see everything that's going on there, the reading specials, jewelry specials, everything, thank you guys for all your support and feedback on those too. It's really, really wonderful. So that is you guys forging ahead beautifully. So now moon and cycles. And I feel like this is one of the most important cards, because we all do have and work in cycles. Sometimes we are just so motivated to do something. We can do it beautifully, effortlessly, flawlessly. Our mental monkeys don't get in there and derail us and add perfectionism or any of those things that slow the process down. This is like, hey, I'm feeling geared up for this, so I'm going to do it. Hey, I don't have the mental or physical energy for this today. I'm going to put this off till I feel better. We all know these cycles. It can be strong, and funnily enough, people are noticing more and more and more how it's working within moon cycles. Sometimes it's extraordinarily intense. When there's alignment of certain planets, like if you have Mars and that just fight, intensity, aggression, it's like we can feel it. It's like, why am I getting so amped up for no reason? And it's not for no reason. It is energy, and energy is energy, and it affects us, especially, if we are empaths and we're tapping into other people's moods and energies, that can exacerbate it. Because if somebody doesn't realize why that energy is seeping in, especially if you have things that are retrograding and there's problems with technology and stuff, and we get just blown off our grid. Like last night I taped 3 beautiful videos, no sound came through. So I sat for a moment and I took Dr. Joe Dispenza's advice, where he said, if something doesn't go your way, step back and view it from a healthy detachment, like it happened to somebody else. What advice would you give them? You tell them, listen, what is done is done. Time is time. Now you want to waste more time getting upset about it? Hell no, keep it moving, right? And then it's like, just have that detachment there. And I don't add that old philosophy of, everything happens for a reason. But I do believe that we can make the reason be next time in my new effort, it's going to be even better because I'm going to slow down and pay attention to maybe why the sound didn't take place, why it didn't happen. Because again, that's not 100% awareness when that happens, right? And this is really great. The athema, which is boundaries, this is boundaries in everything, our personal space, how we operate, what we're doing, what we're going to allow in. And I have a lot of clients that their number one issue is it's almost like family damage patterns of, it can be anything. For some of them, it's like their family that constantly would say, we can't afford that, or how do you expect me to afford that? Or, oh, you want me to buy you a car? Good luck with that. We would, all of these things that people say, and it carries energy and weight. So it creates a little bit of trauma, can create damage, right? So now we're realizing, and I posted this on IG and I loved this particular site this woman has, because it's wonderful, saying, you know what? The thoughts you think are what's important now. You are able to sustain a mood because it's your energy. Just keep everybody out. Have those boundaries. Somebody else is toxic or bothersome. They don't belong in that arena. You don't have time for it. And that is athame. It's like, boom, excuse me, I got to cut you. I got to cut that out. And I have to have my uber focus be on my boundaries and what I want, what's going to bring me joy, what's going to sustain me. For me, oftentimes it's, I need clarity of thought and then to be able to verbalize that succinctly and not have it get convoluted with other stuff. So oftentimes I won't watch aggressive programs. Those things don't really help me, news or anything that's a downer. So it's like, yeah, let's have our boundaries and only let the good, funny stuff in. Sometimes I'll just watch ridiculous things like the old Mads. I loved those, and any skits that are really funny. That helps. But your new cycle that you're going into has this healing capacity where you can heal past traumas, you can heal past schisms and families and friendships, because oftentimes what it starts out as and what was problematic is there was judgment, critical words, and people don't like to be judged. If you watch any reality show, every single argument starts because one of the people, usually in a very public setting, will criticize somebody else. That's your opinion. Everybody has one, but sometimes it's like everybody doesn't need to be so effusive with your opinion. I saw this great thing today where there was a sketch. It was just a man and a woman, and the man says to the woman, oh, you know why somebody wouldn't want to date you? And then the woman goes, actually nobody gives a crap. It was like that sort of thing. It's like everybody, when they feel hurt, judged, or criticized, they want to lash back. But this is letting go of that. This is healing that energy and going, when hurt people want to hurt, that's what it is. So leave them to their own devices, and you carry on beautifully in this new healing cycle. You're really going to find your stride in what you want to do creatively on your life path. It doesn't matter about monetary abundance, because you're going to feel really fulfilled, and like all the extra stuff that used to be dredged up and bother you is no longer going to bother you. You're going to just close that chapter, close that tab out, and have this beautiful kind of gliding into the future. Group 2. I love that. This is a really healthy cycle time for you. You're powering up and powering through. So that's you guys, gorgeous. I love these cards too, because they really do give some fantastic, beautiful messages. They're very simple. I love that. I remember when this deck came in, I brought it outside and I just kind of like gave it a yard blessing and put the cards all over the grass and cleansed it. I really, really love this. So that's you guys. Don't forget to press like and subscribe if you're new, and all my links are down below. This is one of my favorite ones, the last one. I just love the lights in this, because I definitely believe in number 3 in candle magic. I believe in the power of it. The green for abundance and grounding, the blue for clarity of speech, spirituality, the purples, pinks and yellows, all of it. And I feel like right now you're going to have the right sort of avenue to go down to tap into this magic. Because look what we have. We actually have fire. And then we have banishment, and a lot of fire spells belong with this. But let's just tap into right now. What is magic for you? How do you identify that? For me, that's alchemizing. That's materializing things and magnetizing things to me that I want, that lift my vibration to the highest vibration. Because when we're all in a high vibration, guess what? We speak from a heart space. We have patience. We pause. We have empathy, sympathy, love. And we're not contradicting ourselves and getting up in ego state saying, oh, but I have to interpret it this way because I've always interpreted it this way, whether it's the way someone speaks to us, something we read. I was looking at a deck, and this lady got so mad at Cyril Marchetti because he put his initials on one of his new decks. He did a Lenormand deck, and he had CM on everything. She goes, what an egomaniacal fool. I'm not going to buy any of this thing. Who puts their initials all over everything? And I thought, an artist who doesn't want their fantastic previously stolen artwork getting stolen. And I thought that is a cool way okay to do that. But she got so worked up and she was like, I love this deck except for that, so now I don't use it. But you know what I mean? It's like everybody can interpret it. Someone can think that's beautiful and magnificent, and artists know sometimes you need to have you segue into this is, you know, intellectual property. And for other people, it's not their bag. But it's like, the thing is, what are we choosing to get upset about here? And even, you know, it's like one of those things. It's like, I don't even feel entitled to judge the fact that she had her back up over this, because I first I did, because I come from a creative place and I know what it is to have somebody. In the beginning, there were some people, and I was flattered by it. Their sets started to match mine. Some of their titles, like right in a row, for like 5 times in a row, would match mine. I thought, that's nice. You know, if they're learning and they're getting their legs, more power to them. And we all need, you know, those kind of learning curve. And that's the magic, is you're going to be in your own original headspace, thought space, creativity space. There's nobody like each individual out there. So why aren't we individuating and saying, hey, I'm not going to second guess what comes through spirit and myself, because it's beautiful, it's wonderful, and I'm not going to hesitate. And that's what passion is. And I always thought that creativity is like directly through source, you know, that beautiful genius that just simmers in there and comes out, and it comes in your own individual interpretation in everything in life, how you speak, how you dress. I saw all these great things of people going, oh my gosh, I can't stop buying like spring colors and clothes because I'm so looking forward to. And that's their way that they're expressing, you know, all those things on TikTok where people like jump into their boots and then they have a whole new outfit. It's so fun and like quirky, and it's like people getting excited because they want to go places, they want to have a reason to dress up, and people and places to dress up for, not only for themselves, and they feel really good about it. And in this, and I always believe in a lot of passion, we have to banish what doesn't give us passion and get it out of that junk drawer. You know, we have so many junk drawers in our head, in our house, in our cars, all of these things where, just think when you go through your glove compartment, can you find your license, registration, and a spare birthday card right away? Like, those are the 3 things I have on top of my pile. And I made sure the other day they were there, because I saw someone get pulled over, and I was like, hey Mel, are you prepared if you got pulled over? Do you have these things? Because I remember in the past, oh my gosh, I shoved everything and the kitchen sink in my glove box, and I wouldn't know where anything was. I had jewelry, there was probably a spare cat, I had hats, I had everything in there. It was so ridiculous. I didn't know what the hell was going on. If I got pulled over, they'd probably arrest me just for, that's it, she's Section 8, she escaped from somewhere. Like, what has she got in there? She has all this stuff. And one time I actually did get pulled over with Hagen in the back seat. Guess what? My registration was out of date by over 2 years. My license, well over a year. And the police officer, he just laughed, because he's like, this doesn't normally happen. He's like, I said, I'm telling you, I'm not aware of these things. I'm like, I put them in there, and usually Ian would be like, oh, you have to register this, you have to register that. And I remember he was working a lot, and things were so far out of date. And he was so wonderful. And then whatever the minimal fine was for the ticket, I'm like sure he left off things, because it would have been in the high hundreds, because all the documentation was crazy. I think only the insurance was like on par. And it's one of those things where now I have to just banish all that stuff. Post-dated memories, ideas, things that don't work, keeping the fresh documentation, how to move each day, have things right at our fingertips at the ready. And then, you know, that's where the magic happens, because nothing is blocking us from that. We don't have fears, we don't have old ideas, we don't have problematic things. I'm still, you know, a bit of a hoarder. I have clothes, and as they come out, I start to, if I put them down on the couches, the cats land them, then I have to redo them, all of those things. But learning from that, and it doesn't mean that I have to implement it that second the next day, but slowly it runs its course. Like today, when I pulled out all my old jewelry and I filmed it, I thought, oh my gosh, I have all these beads that I can reincorporate into other pieces if, you know, I want to do that as well. But this is slowly saying, you know, follow your passion. That's where the magic comes in. And forget about obligation or duty or producing or does that make you money or any of that stuff. Because in the end, it's really what comes from our heart and what we want to put our time and effort into, right? And then that brings us to the next step. It brings us joy. And we're meant here to experience joy. We're here to experience lightness and, you know, expansion. You know, anything that we feel brings in the walls or makes us feel cramped or tighter, we have to get rid of. And for me, that's definitely time. Like I was discussing the other day, I thought I had so much to do before a certain time, I just set that in my head that I started to feel unwell. I was like, oh, I got to bring this lunch. I got to do this. And I was like, wait a minute, you do not have to do one of these things in any of these time constraints. So it took off all the constraints and then the day went beautifully. So that's what we have to do for ourselves. Be impassioned, work on that passion, and also strike while the iron's hot. You know, while you feel good, have things at your fingertips, have your sketching pad, have your resources ready to go. So that isn't also like an issue. Oh, I got to dig through all this stuff. You just have it ready. It's right there at the forefront and on the top. So that is, you guys, beautiful energy. Yeah, people are so ready for that. They're ready for this buoyancy, this lightness. And, you know, you're just going to move into this beautifully. And it's going to be, you know, a whole, it's like, boom, going over that bridge and being on that new green pasture where everything's just like, it's restful, and you'll have that sense of well-being because you're not pushing yourself. There's no need to. And if one thing in this time and space has really brought to the surface for me is, you know, that our home is an okay place to be, and to slow down is a great way to be. And it helps the creative process because we're not wrapped up in like consumerism and we got to go meet this person, go to this restaurant and show up and show out. It's like, none of that stuff is really important. And now we're in touch with things that do have importance, and we're able to grow with that. So that's, you guys, beautiful energy. Thanks again for all your love and support, you guys. All my links are down below. Come on over to IG and get in on all the specials. I was really excited when I was filming. I was like, wow, I forgot about these amulets, all this cool stuff. And it's so much fun to make. And remember, you guys, it's like when you wake up, our first thought is it's going to be a chain reaction to our next thought. So if the first one is anything of like pain or fear or isolation, it's like, what do I have that I love? What am I going to do that I love? Am I going to have the most delicious coffee or tea? Do I get to see these great pets and family members? And you go from there, because then those, you know, synapses that are fired together are going to wire together, and it's going to all go down in that positive link and be like next, right? And then you feel fortified, ready, and off you go in on the positive path, as opposed to anything else that's not necessary. So love and light, everybody. I'm excited. I'm going to go upload.